Yeah, he always sounds like,
What a beautiful man. He built you. Splendor, Lord, you got it. Wall to wall. And yet, all of that still not happy.
oh man. Hello, cats, kittens. It's Uncle Larry coming at you on a Friday night. Homeschooling show, episode 186 or 7 or something. Can you believe it's been that many episodes? I mean, this humble offering that started at my old house in the old garage. It got cold here in Nashville, Tennessee today. I mean, it is cold. We had some very sort of spring-like weather for a while, and then all of a sudden it got nasty cold. It's bitter out there right now. But let me pull up a little VCB action here. Day 5 of the Vince Gill sessions, and man, we had some more fun today. That little clip of I started this with a little clip of Gordon goofing off and just doing his Johnny Paycheck imitation of that old song Satin Sheets, which I'll just try to play a version of. That boy is so damn funny. He is something else, man. But yeah, let me get a few VCB things here for you. What else can I tell you? Football tomorrow. And Sunday and Monday, I'm excited about that. I got the old SG out tonight when I got home because it's the perfect country and western guitar. That's something you guys should really know. I know I've talked about this. All those sliding sticks, you know. They're just everywhere, you know. That's a good Ralph Mooney lick. That type of thing. You know, just been hanging around with Paul Franklin a lot lately, and boy, that boy can play that stuff like there's no tomorrow. Okay, let's get into some VCB. Let's see. Hey, I wrote a few down here because I thought they were funny. Uncle Larry, what are the best kids books? Because I like to read books to my boys. You know, we've been doing that since they were infants. Before they even, could ever understand the concept of a book, we were reading them books, and they still love to read. And I think reading is so cool. I'm going to show you my 3 favorite kids books, okay? Number 1, without question, if you got little kids, you got to get these 3 books. William's Winter Nap, okay? The sweetest book ever. It's just the best. These guys, this is a family favorite. They love that book. And here's another one, The Missing Piece, Shel Silverstein. This book is incredible. So many metaphors for life in here. Shel Silverstein is a fucking badass. I could almost recite this book word for word. I love it so much. And here's another Bukovac family favorite. Another Perfect Day. This is great. If you got kids, get all 3 of these books. Just do it tonight. They're winners, I promise you. Okay? Okay, let's see. What football card are you really hunting right now? If you could have anyone. The 1965 Joe Namath rookie. That's the one I want. But they're huge money. Like a PSA 7 or 8 is like $25,000, which is insane because it's the first year. Their AFL cards. That's set. I don't have any out right now, but the 65 top set is actually way bigger than the average card. Like they're like these 71 basketballs are taller, right? So they're big money. Okay, that's the one. I'm looking for that whole set. Another guy said, what do session players like to really talk about in Nashville? It's funny, it is like a giant band, the whole Nashville session scene. It's like a giant band with interchangeable members, as I've said many times. And I suppose it's this way for other places too, other cities, but I've done sessions in New York and LA, but not many. But the Nashville scene, I certainly know about. That beer is good. Lord Jesus. What the Nashville session you guys talk about? Well, we're all older guys, right? So there's not a lot of talk about chicks anymore. you know, but, you know, family, kids is a big one. You know, you've got a group of maybe like 150 guys, you know, that play on pretty much everything, right? All different instruments. You know, you got 10 drummers, 10 bass players, 10 guitar players. And everybody just, whatever day it is, they all different bands, rotating chairs. And it's like, you know, if there's some good gossip about one of the other guys, something going on in their life, that's always fun to talk about. Oh, Lord, I can't imagine the things they say about me. Oh, yeah, YouTube sellout. Oh, yeah, he drinks too much. You know, all these things, you know, but they, you know, we all love each other. We all support each other. That's the thing. You know, if anybody ever truly needed anything, and it's not real cutthroat and competitive either, you know, like, you know, people call me all the time for a session, you know, and if I can't do it, I will gladly recommend, you know, several other guitar players and never worry about like losing the gig or the account. You know, it's never like that. It's like, you know, that may happen here and there, but you get another one the same way you lost that one. You know what I mean? And I've also noticed that there's like, you know, waves of times that you see, like there'll be like a certain guy, a certain bass player or something that you used to see him all the time on sessions. And then all of a sudden for years, like you'll never see him on a session. It doesn't mean he's not working, but you're just not working with him. And then all of a sudden, 2 years later, you start working with him again all the time. It's like waves of, like, you know, that whole music business thing is like that, with waves of things. Like I used to do all kind of gigs with Don Was, you know, the producer guy, produces the Stones and everything. I did tons of live gigs, studio gigs with him, and then like a couple years ago, you know, like I'd never heard from him again, and I was like, wow, I wonder if I pissed him off or anything, you know. I didn't think I did because we always got along great, but you know, he probably found some other guitar player that he liked, and then just recently he called me to do like some Willie Nelson show, like 90th birthday tribute party, you know, in April, and so like, you just never know, like, you know, who's gonna, what wave you're gonna be on with certain people. There's certain guys I just see all the time, you know, like, you know, because people seem to book you guys all sort of together. They like a certain band, you know, a certain way, you know. So there's that. Larry, is there any, I know you've had tons of guitars, but is there any guitars you're still hunting? You know, after I got that burst, you know, like I've noticed that my interest in hunting guitars has sort of waned a bit. You know, like when I was a younger man, all I did was hunt guitars, Reverb, eBay. You know, I mean, I was all over eBay back before Reverb was even a thing. Always going to look at guitars, driving, you know, to other states to look at guitars, buying package deals, just wheeling and dealing constantly. It's obsessed with finding cool old guitars. Absolutely obsessed. Going to Groons all the time, going to all the music stores. And then, you know, you get a bit older, and I've had them all, and it's like, once I got that burst, I was like, there's really no reason to keep hunting guitars. There's nothing I'm ever gonna find that's cooler or better than that guitar. You know, it's like, maybe I could buy another burst someday, but it's like, you know, I still look, but it's not as insane as it used to be. But I'll tell you one guitar that I've always hunted that I've never been able to find. And you know how, like, when you get older, you start trying to recapture a lot of the things from your childhood. It's sort of a natural, sentimental human thing to sort of, you know, whatever cool stuff you were exposed to when you were a kid, you try to like find that again, you know, when you get older. I think we've talked about that a bit. But like when I was a kid, the first really good band I ever saw in Cleveland was a band called Fairweather, and they were fantastic. I was 16 years old and I snuck into a club. I know I've talked about this on the show. And they were amazing, doing Genesis covers, and they did some of their own music, and killer musicians. And I ended up getting to know the guys later, you know, but I was just mesmerized when I first saw them. I couldn't believe anybody could be that good, you know, live band. I'd never seen a local live band that was that good. And the guitar player, a guy named Jeffrey Moore, who I have no idea what happened to him or where he went, but he was a killer guitar player, and he had a Lake Placid Blue 65 Strat, and it was whipped, all beat up and whomped on, and it looked so damn cool, and he played the shit out of it. He was the guy that first turned me on to like blackface Fender amps. He was like, hey man, because I started hanging around with those guys. I filled in on a couple of gigs with them, and he showed me like, this is the kind of amp you should get, dude. And he showed me like what a blackface deluxe reverb could do, and he used to, I thought was super cool, and I know I've talked about this, but I'll say it again, sorry. He used to just stand totally still on stage, like he didn't run around or move. So he had, and he had two little chairs, like regular kitchen type chairs on either side of him. And he had a blackface deluxe just sitting on those chairs, pointed right at his hips, facing, like he was sandwiched between two deluxe reverbs, on either side of him, pointed right at him. So it wasn't coming out, it wasn't pointed out to the crowd, or it wasn't pointed to the back wall. It was sandwiched, he was sandwiched right between the two amps. And he would get great sustained feedback and stuff, because he was like, in between this amp sandwich, and it sounded incredible, and he was a great player. And so, I always wanted to try that, and I still to this day have yet to try that. I don't know why I haven't tried that. Putting two deluxes or small amps on chairs right next to you, pointing at your hips, it'd be cool. And that guitar that he's played, that Lake Placid Blue Strat, that all beat up, I've always wanted one of those and tried to find one of those, but you can't find them. And anytime I ever do find a Lake Placid Blue Strat, an old one, it's always too clean, doesn't look right. But recently, my friend Marlon, hey Marlon, what's up? He found I'm trying to, work out a deal where he found one that looks exactly like the one that Jeffrey played. And trying to wrangle that somehow, so we'll see. Come on, Marlon, help me out here, bro. So that would be one. And, another one, too, that I've always wanted that I've never been able to get my mitts on would be like a proper D45 Martin, like a 68 or earlier, I've always wanted one of those. Probably because of my fascination with the Boomer Story Rod Cooder record. The way those acoustics sound on there. I know that's an old D45 he's playing on there. And I know that if I get that guitar, I'll sound exactly like Rod Cooder. And then I'll be happy. So, what else? Is there any more? I think that was it for VC. Well, let me look again. Here, let's see. Let me put on the old glasses. See. Oh, there's this guy. Oh, yeah. Remember the guy I told you about, the tuning Nazi guy? He said, okay, we're at 75K subs. Can we get YouTube ad rev shirt or the t-shirt guy to shout you a Zoom? I don't even know what this means. A Zoom H5 audio recorder. You can do better on the sound, Larry. Come on, step up, man. Okay, pal. Okay, buddy. These are not full production videos I'm making here, guys. I do that for a living all day. Okay, so I'm not going to turn this channel into some high-tech edited, amazing thing with great audio and stuff. Like, you get the point. I mean, if you can hear the guitar, right? If you can hear enough to learn whatever we're supposed to be learning here, and that's enough for me, okay? Yes, I could probably make it something different, but whatever. I'm not doing that, guys. It's just not, I don't have time or interest or any of that. And we're doing okay without all that, so I think I'm just going to stay with that, right? I'll save the fuck off, I'll give him one more chance, and then I'll give him a fuck off. Let's see. He's also the guy that always complains anytime he hears anything that's out of tune, because, here's one for him. Goes out to you, pal. All right. Let's see. Oh, a lot of talk about the 13-year-old thing I said, a lot of people seem to agree with the fact that whatever they were listening to when they were 13 is what they really ended up becoming, you know, as a grown man, you know. I totally feel that, man. There's one guy that disagreed, but whatever, you know. There's a lot of different types of folks in this world. Any hot picks for tomorrow, kids? Anybody feeling anything on the games tomorrow? I just did that. I've never done that before in my entire life, but that could be a cool exercise for all you guys that are complaining about not getting your pinky going. Sounds kind of cool too. About 60% of the notes. All right, guys. Have a great night. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.